just to say a few words in English. Today, I feel compelled to begin by explaining why I didn't begin the customary Dashi Delek. That's because we're still less than a year since His Holiness Jira Dachen Dorje Chang passed into final nirvana. And although we're all gathered here together to mark the beginning of the year of the Firebird according to Tibetan lunar calendar, for us in the Sakya Monastery family, we're having a very low-key New Year this time, as I'm sure you will all understand that. So therefore, I won't speak at length today, but just to offer a few words for our reflection. What comes up for me at this time is that it hardly seems possible that it's been a year since we were here last time. And how much has changed and how much has occurred during that time. Especially for young people like me, we rush around thinking that we got all the time in the world. But as the Buddha encouraged us to reflect, that's not the case. He encouraged us to contemplate that, because when we do, and if we do, we will see how precious this human life is, with its remarkable intelligence and heart really is. And then we question what we're doing with our lives. One thing I'm often asked by many people who are interested in spirituality is that they always ask me, what's the meaning of life? And different religions, different philosophies answer that question differently. Some say, oh, it's what the Lord has planned for you. Or some say, absolutely nothing. We're just specks of dust floating in the cosmos or whatever. So, my own answer is kind of a question, because I always ask, what's meaningful to you? Because for us, it's not about blind faith, it's nor about indifferences. It's about making our lives meaningful through our actions. And every action we do comes from our intentions. So what makes us this? What makes us Nangpa, which is the Tibetan word for Buddhists? Literally, those who look within. Is that we look within, find meaning in our hearts, and then we act from that. In other words, the meaning of life is what we make it. So in order to do that, we need to act from a clear and compassionate mind in all that we do. And for Tibetan Buddhists, we're so incredibly fortunate that to be heirs of such a rich and vast legacy of practical teachings on how to develop the human mind for better understanding, how to train the heart for overcoming negative emotions, how to best live in our communities in harmony with nature, with each other, and so on. It's that unique teaching, which means that in the present day, scientists are able to find extraordinary compatibility in their extensive dialogue with Buddhist scholars. People from other traditions all over the world are seeking guidance in Buddhist meditation methods to deal with stress and enhance their emotional well-being. And His Holiness the Dalai Lama continues to draw diverse crowds of many thousands and thousands of people who want to learn his vision for a more peaceful world. And all of that started with one person looking within under a tree in India over 2.5 millennia ago, and had the compassion to share his wisdom with others. And it has continued over generations after generations after generations by those who find this amazing education of the heart so meaningful, so beneficial in their own lives. Then of course they want to share it with the next generation. Now we are the next generation. So, His Holiness the Dalai Lama always quotes the famous line of great Sakya Monastery. Even if we were to die tomorrow, study today. The reason is that they know how many countless people benefited over the centuries from learning the science, the spiritual tools, the values of Tibetan Buddhism. So we must utilize this rich inheritance to make our own lives and the lives of others truly meaningful and beneficial. So yeah, it's my own conviction that although culture, artifacts, customs, they have their values. I get that, they do. But the real value of Tibetan Buddhist culture is in its teachings. Teachings that don't just lie in paper and ink, but they are lived. So now, young Tibetans living overseas, you have an extra responsibility. Because not only do you have to apply yourselves to your regular studies, but you have a much larger field of learning to observe the traditional culture in Tibetan, Tibetan language, Tibetan literature, and so on. Being one who attends a Tibetan college in India, I have to say, I feel that I have it easy in comparison. So I really do admire my peer group in here in America and elsewhere who are able to pursue their traditional education at the same time as their modern education. However, even outside of Tibetan community, for anyone who finds meaning in their lives through what Tibetan Buddhist ethics, Tibetan Buddhist education has to offer, each and every one of us has to apply to learning it and implementing it so that we reap the benefits and that this precious jewel continues to be passed on to future generations. And only in that way, we will be honoring our heritage, and we will be worthy heirs who will definitely bring this and make this precious life that we have as meaningful as possible. So anyway, I just hope that all of you have a truly meaningful year of the Firebird. Thank you.